Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing tonight? Decided to do a live this evening. I was going to take the night off, but I decided to do a live for this evening here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I'm your host, Abe Cias. Today we'll be talking about a strong heavenly love foundation through Jesus Christ. How important that is uh, at all times to always maintain your heavenly love foundation, brothers and sisters. Times do change, but the heavenly foundation has to remain strong in order to overcome changes or things that want to cause a spiritual change. We have to maintain our heavenly love foundation through Jesus Christ, and that's what we're going to be talking about here tonight on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How important it is to maintain a heavenly love foundation. I'm fixing to share this link out to the groups that I share to that allow me to share on Facebook. I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. Go. Let me share out this. And there we are. We're all shared out, brothers and sisters here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Talking about a heavenly love foundation. Man, I got so many stories to tell you of what I've gone through where I had to maintain my heavenly love foundation. And even though that I'm highly trained, being prior military and stuff, you know, back in the days when I was younger, I had to do what I had to do when I was in situations where the threat is right in front of you, and either you defend yourself, you don't defend yourself, something bad could happen to you. So, when I was younger, I had to handle things like this, right? Even though I felt bad that after I defeated the enemy or the opponent that came my way, within myself, I knew, that I'm supposed to maintain my heavenly love foundation, not to dwell on hatred. It's hard when you're defeating the enemy, and anything can happen when you have that opening of anger, right? Anger, hatred, that's dealing with fighting, right? Uh, and those are spiritual openings that the unseen forces that are around can use to attack. And I'm gonna talk here freely about this tonight. Uh, a lot of people ask me, uh, how come you don't like so and so? How come you don't like this person? How come you don't like this person? It's not that I don't like them. It's just sometimes you have to, in order for you to maintain uh, your heavenly love foundation and maintain it strong. Sometimes you have to disassociate with certain individuals that are trying to corrupt your foundation, trying to make your foundation weak by trying to find openings or trying to make cracks, right? Because they don't believe in the same things you believe. I think that's one of the things of what I've noticed as I've been doing these works, right, here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I try to talk about these things here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. If somebody invites me to the groups, right, and the topic is nothing pertaining to what you could say what I specialize in, I just won't say nothing, right? But I'm not, I don't like being in a situation where I can't say what I want to say, right? How I truly feel about what somebody is saying, But when I'm invited to other people's groups, it's kind of like I just don't say nothing. I hold back from saying what I have to say because it's not my group. I'm invited to go to those groups, right? So sometimes, I've been into somewhere. Sometimes it feels like you're being set up, right? Because they know what you're about, they know what you believe, they know what you talk about. So when the majority of the panel is talking about things that you dislike, I just don't say nothing at that point in time because it's not my show, right? I can't. It's not my show, and I don't want to disrespect the show or whoever's podcast it is. But here on Spiritual Equipped Encounters, I can say how I feel, and I think that is what pisses some people off. Uh, if you want to talk to me about something, well, we can talk about it here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I'll allow you to say what you have to say in a basis that I'm allowed to say what I have to say too, without anybody interrupting the conversation between me and the individual. But when you're there and there's you feel like you're being set up because all the people that are on the panel believe in what they're believing in. But then I'll just wait and express what I feel on my channel here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Because at that time that I'm saying what I'm saying here, I'm not disrespecting that show, but I'm expressing my opinion here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. And I've been placed like that numerous times throughout the many podcasts that I've done. I've seen the pattern, where people it's like lopsided questions, but I stick to my, when it comes down to me answering somebody asking me a question, I'll answer it the way I want to answer it. But so, that's what you get where people try to paint you to be a certain way, they try to paint you to be a certain way. They come at you disrespectfully, just because they say, like for right now, the topic, a strong heavenly love foundation. Yeah, I believe that 100%. To maintain your heavenly love foundation is strong through Jesus Christ. Of course, because I say that, people say, "Oh, this guy's weak." Some of these people, right? Their minds is different. They think different. It's like, okay, I can look stuff about this guy and see what I can find on him, and I'm going to put him on blast and um, come at him in this way. I'm going to talk to him this way because he talks about a heavenly love foundation. Blah blah blah. Scheme people that scheme up. But they just don't know that what they don't understand is just because I talk about a heavenly love foundation doesn't mean that I can't talk to you a certain way. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I will address you accordingly to how you're addressing me. If you're coming at me in a disrespectful manner, well, then you're gonna get it right back the same way, right? I'm not gonna hold back on what I'm gonna say to you, whether you like it or not. But one thing I will not do is deny my heavenly Father. I'm not gonna deny Jesus Christ of what I believe in. I've gotten threats from people from the Muslim community talking about if I will talk about Jesus Christ where they live, that they'll chop my head off. They say. I said, well, I don't think you want to come to me, uh, trying to think you're going to cut my head off here where I live in the United States, because then I have to handle the situation accordingly to the threat. I wish, in order for you to maintain your heavenly love foundation, you also got to protect the vessel, right? Because that's where the heavenly love foundation is within yourself. So you got to do what you got to do to survive, right? To continue to do the works that you do. So it's one of those things that is a sensitive topic, not to me, a sensitive topic to those that do not believe in Jesus Christ, that they rather believe in other things, And that's what the problem is. Well, it's not a problem to me, but a problem to them, right? Because I always talk about Jesus Christ. I always talk about the Our Father, that you're never alone. And these individuals dislike that, right? They dislike when I speak my spiritual truth. I've had people say that that's not part of their religion, that there's something else and all this stuff. You can be whatever you want to be. You want to be an astronaut, go ahead and be an astronaut. You want to be a soldier, go ahead and be a soldier. You want to believe in what you want to believe, go ahead. But here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, this is my home, and I can speak whatever I want to speak, and I can have whoever I want to have here on the panel. It's my choice, right? And sometimes you have to go into enemy territories to awaken people that might be spiritually bonded. Trust me, I've done this before. Um, but yes, you got to keep maintaining a strong heavenly love foundation through Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I've had to hear where people share their opinions and what they think of certain things. But me personally, of what I witnessed and what I'm shown spiritually through the Heavenly Father, uh, He doesn't make mistakes, man. The Heavenly Father, if He says something and He does something, it's specific, and He's going to do what He's going to do. Just like when we talk about, for example, uh, the Watchers of DDN, all these things that are written there in the Bible, those things that have happened, they have happened, and they happen for a reason, right? Uh, that's why I captured the DDN in disembodied form, because they're not Nephilim in the flesh. They're Nephilim, DDN, disembodied demonic spirits that are roaming here on earth. And I have the evidence of that, right? So, of course, when you have evidence and you show your evidence of the existing spirit, and not just the evidence that I have, I've fought them in the past when I was a kid, and I've seen them attack certain family members, right? This DDN, whatever you want to call them, right? But demons, DDN, uh, the Legion, the Fallen, whatever naming you want to give them, they are around in spirit. They're the ones that are causing the chaos and havoc unseen. Uh, they attack the vessels, which is the people, right? The bodies that have spiritual openings. If the person is not on the right path and they have the openings of anger, hatred, vengeance, etc., believing in other things, then there's the opening to use this to attack people. So when you hear of suicides, uh, and things of that nature, that's what they do. They see the opening, they attack the vessel, and it's not just to attack them or possess them, it's to destroy the vessel. That's what they do. So yeah, I've had people come up here, they've come up here trying to push their narrative of what they believe in, but I'm just here to tell them. I think we've had somebody come here with a Labubu doll, a freaking doll, talking about he's Muslim and all this stuff, I'm gonna tell you, you have to have a strong heavenly love foundation to be able to talk to these individuals, right? Because you're not gonna have the openings. Maybe somebody else that they might see is weak, they target, and that's what I see of some of the people here, that I've faced before, that targeted me, thinking, oh, this dude ain't about nothing. They just don't know me, So, what's the first thing that somebody does to 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 when they know what you're about, that you're maintaining a Heaven Love Foundation? What do they do? They try to target you as an individual, come at you with bad words and saying this and that, in which that by itself is already showing you what they're about. When they come at target you in a negative way, it's because that's what's within them is negativity. So the bigger question is, how would somebody with that many spiritual openings, because that means that their foundation has got cracks, right? How do they expect to come up against me and think that they're going to win in some kind of way when I maintain my Heavenly Love Foundation very strong and I place Jesus Christ first daily? They're in a losing situation right off the bat. But at the same time, they want to believe what they want to believe in. That's their choice. But you're not going to come at me in a negative way and think that you're not going to get a response back from me. I'm going to not just give you a response. I'm going to show you what a Heavenly Love Foundation can do, which I have to many people, and some of them get mad because I don't bite into the, how should I say, how can I say this without it trying to be nice? I don't buy into the bait or bondage that they're forming their foundation, the glue that they're forming their foundation. That's not me. I'm a whole different person. But I'm going to say what I have to say. And another thing, if the individual that's coming up against me can't talk to me like a man or like a person, they should be getting nobody else involved. Nobody else involved. If they have a personal problem with me, it should be a conversation between me and that individual only. I don't need nobody to speak in my behalf. I'm my own person. I'm my own man. I don't need nobody to speak in my behalf. If I have something to say, I'm going to say it. Just to get that straight. I don't know. No, I need no moderator. Nobody in between. The middleman. If somebody got a problem with me, at least be man enough to say it to me. Don't go tell somebody else something, and then get a person to be a middleman. You know, because then like that's already shown me your character, man. If you can't be man enough to tell me what you think about me, you have to go tell somebody else, go cry to somebody else, and can say it to me. That's like playing games. Trust me, I was in the military for 10 years, and the things that people say here in this cryptid paranormal community is nothing compared to the things that happen in the military. Over there is sometimes you have to take care of business a certain way because you have no choice to take care of business a certain way. You're not given no other ultimatum. In the military, we call them cheap shots, man. People want to put in their 2 cents about you. They don't even know you. They don't take the time to talk to you or nothing. Then all of a sudden they got this book they're going to write about you because they think they know you by hearing from other people when they never spoken to you. So when people try to paint you to be a certain way, it's like, if you want to hear something from how I am, talk to me. I'm the one that can tell you what I'm about. We got Brother La Morgan in the house, Sister Edna Wilson. Uh, so I'm just talking about this, man. How do you make your love foundation strong? How? How do you make your love foundation strong? No, it's one of those things that you have to pay attention to everything around you, physically and spiritually. I can truly say I believe in Jesus Christ and the Heavenly Father, the heavenly angels, 100%. Right off the bat, I'll tell you this right now because they've been there for me all my life through all situations, and some of the situations is a matter of life or death, and some of the situations have been spiritual warfare. They've been there for me spiritually and physically. When I mean physically, it's because sometimes the Heavenly Father blesses you uh, with special gifts at that moment that you have to overcome a trials and tribulations. Sometimes the spiritual gifts could be spiritual, and sometimes the spiritual gifts that He blesses you could be physical. He could give you the strength of Samson, right? He give you the strength of Samson, the speed of a cheetah. What do you think that is? You see how the Didion move in the videos, how fast they move, right? You can give you the ability to make contact with something like that just by movement. Like he's letting you know when it's coming, and then he'll make you make a move, and boom, you make a connection. Uh, it's not like a physical connection, but just the spirit to let it know, hey, I know you're here, right? But he blesses you with the spiritual gifts to be able to understand the things that are around you. Yeah, I've been in a lot of spiritual warfare, brother and sisters. Spiritual warfare, uh, because of people that says there's times where uh, some of the people that have negative attachments, the unclean spirits or demons that are in them, right? Uh, they're letting me know using them as a vessel because they've overtaken the vessel, and they tell me, uh, don't interfere. That's what they tell me. They tell me don't interfere, or they tell me he belongs to us or she belongs to us. But me, as a person that walks this earth with a heavenly love foundation, I interfere because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to try to not just uh, awaken, but protect my brothers and sisters. So then that's when I cast them out of them, tell them, I tie my name in Jesus Christ's name. I can, they'll leave you, tell them, God bless you. And when the God bless you is out of a pure heavenly love foundation, where you could say, I love you to the vessel, to the person, and it's coming true from your heart, from a heavenly love foundation heart. The unclean spirits or demons will flee, and the person will be normal. They'll be gone. So then that's when you see the opening there, the spiritual opening. Then you talk to them. You find out what happened, what path in life, what's going on in their lives, if they have any openings. And once you figure out what the opening was at the unclean spirit attack, or should I say, infiltrated their vessel, then you tell them, okay, no anger, no hatred, no vengeance, no fear, and forgiveness. One of the things that I've noticed, brothers and sisters, that the enemy has attacked many generations. When we talk about generational curses, they've attacked many people from generation to generation because of some kind of vengeance, or where somebody in the past has dabbled in something and make deals with something. Like they can make a deal with something and say, you can affect this generation, but affect two generations ahead of time. So 2 generations from now, it just happens that the generation that they're trying to affect is your generation. Well, that person was their own person. So what do? You ask God to forgive that individual. You forgive that individual that did that, and you sever the negative ties. The negative, whatever they did, you don't want to do nothing with it, and that's something that's dealing with them. So you sever those ties, forgive, and maintain your heavenly love foundation. So uh, the unclean spirits that travel through generational curses can affect you. You let them know where you stand spiritually. You place Jesus Christ first, the Heavenly Father first, so they won't be able to affect you or your next of kin. At the same time, you gotta show your children the way. No, and it's hard right now. I think Sister Brenda was talking about it last time. It is hard to, because there's so much negative seeds that are being planted to our children through the school system, that we're trying to guide them spiritually, but it's kind of like the enemy has already infiltrated through the school systems, through society itself, or children. But we can still find a way in to help them. Speak to them. Maybe they're indirectly not paying full attention to you. Still speak to them. Even if you have to say the same thing over and over every time you see them, say it so it can register in their mind and they can remember the message that you send them. Because maybe later on in life, as many times as you might say that to them, they're going to be in a situation that they're going to remember the message that you left them, and they're going to use the wisdom that you share with them to overcome the situation that they're going through. Sometimes people learn the hard way. I know my aunts. I had an aunt that would always give me advice. That was literally a Sister Veronica, a nun, that would always come and visit and give me spiritual advice. Because of her, uh, she was a retired nun, and she would always come visit us, brings us bring us pastries, and she got us to go to the uh, retreats for the Catholic Church and stuff like that. She was always guiding us, giving us advice. When you're 17, 18, 16, 16, 17, 18, you're really not paying too much attention because your mindset is different. Compare it, because you haven't lived life, so your mindset is different. You're like, you listen to what they're saying, but you're like, they're old, they don't know what they're talking about. But they do know how what they're talking about. Just like me right now, I'm older, and I know what I'm talking about. But that's where the communication is hard nowadays, right? Especially with so many things set in place, social media, and of course, different podcasts, the stick to our narrative, and the one, a lot of AI stuff right now, a lot of AI stuff that is just horrible, trying to corrupt as many people as possible. Let me see something here real quick. Okay. So we got Sister Beyond the Box. I seen you earlier up there. I tuned in for a little bit, then I had to go run to the went to the Whataburger and bought me a burger for supper. So I just wanted to talk to something different. Sometimes people go different routes because maybe something might have happened in their life. A death in the family. Their wife or husband left them. That caused them to have where there was division, some kind of division, right? But where there's division, that's what the enemy is attacking because the unseen forces, that's what they do. They they want division. When there's division, then they see the opportunity to attack. When a head of a household is being bonded, which would be the parents or the husband and wife, or bonded, that's when the enemy comes and infiltrates because of the arguing, right? When there's division, if there's division, there's got to be some kind of arguing, some kind of fighting, physical or mental, hatred, anger, bad thoughts. That's when the enemy comes. When there's division like that, or somebody says something negative to you, then you say something back to them. That's a spiritual opening, right? Where something can happen. Even though you could say something here and here, that you have to maintain your heavenly love foundation. So, so there are some people that you have to say to them a certain way bluntly in order for them to understand. But when you say it bluntly, it's to try to break through the barrier, through the bondage that they might have. You have to say to them a certain way to get their attention or to awaken them. So you speak to an individual accordingly to the situation, but at the same time, you got to remember to maintain your heavenly love foundation. You have to maintain your heavenly love foundation because you can't leave no openings to get spiritually attacked. See, I know a lot of things, brothers and sisters. I just see, and I've been doing this works for a long time. There is, how should I say? There's no Houdini that can come into my space, and I'm talking about pretenders to be my friends, or pretenders that, I believe in Jesus Christ, because they automatically get revealed to me. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, because I'm not nobody to judge nobody. I'm supposed to give people the benefit of the doubt because that's just that's one of the things you got to do in order for people to free themselves from the bondage, that they have to awaken themselves and want change themselves. You can't force somebody to want change. You can speak about certain things. You can speak stories to say, what, maybe this is what I'm doing wrong. And they have to do it for themselves because they will want to change. So here in Spiritual Encrypted and Concert, here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, I don't force nobody to make a change. If they're going to make a change, it's a change on their own. That they have their own relationship with Jesus Christ. Make a connection with them. Forgive. Stop the anger, the hatred, and then they see the difference. So I'm not here to force anybody for any kind of change. The change has to be within themselves. How you doing, Sister Brenda? How you doing
Hi.
this evening?
Um, I know you said you had to leave, but did you? I found your little duende.
Little
I,
Duende.
I did. I did. I found this, and I'm gonna see if I can send it over to you. Here, I'm gonna just put it in the thing here so you can share it.
All right.
I did. I found it. So this was found in the Amazon.
In the Amazon.
In the Amazon, look at that. That is your little heel poker right there. You see that? They found this years ago in the Amazon, and here's they took a like an X-ray of it. Yeah, there's your little duende. That's your little heel poker.
The heel
I,
poker.
I was going to wait for Maddie to come to see if she recognized him and see if it was anybody she knew, but you know. But I thought, oh, Abe missed his little heel. The guy who hit his heel. I couldn't believe that. But look at the face, and it's no bigger than a what's it, couple inches.
Yeah, a couple of inches.
Yeah. So there's your little bandit that likes to go after your heel.
The Achilles. Yeah.
Yes, the Achilles heel
Well,
poker.
that's what they used to. They used to attack people. The natives. They were with the
Yeah,
straws. They would shoot a straw with poison,
and yeah, and
and
that's what they said. This little guy used to. They run around with sticks. They sharpened the small sticks, and they would throw them at people and poke them with them. And I thought that little thing right there. I mean, you could just step on it and it's done. But yeah, they said they found that years ago in the Amazon. And I thought, oh, that's that little guy that poked Abe in the heel, in the Achilles heel. And I thought, doggone it, did he miss him? So there you go. You got a picture of your duende now.
if you want to see what Sister Brenda is talking about, I'll show you the video of the little thing that I captured in the woods because I was going to the woods doing investigation at nighttime in Elms Grove, and I said, I'm just gonna go back to the house, and when I turned around to walk away, I was in sandals. It's when I felt a stabbing sensation on my Achilles, and I thought I had gotten bit by a snake. So I turned around and took a picture because to see what kind of snake bit me, just in case I had to go to the hospital. I was able to make it home, but what I found like a little spear stuck in my Achilles. My sister's the one said, "Hey, what's that hanging from your leg?" And I looked and
I
I pulled it out. It
wonder
was
if what you,
very sharp, and I started bleeding all over the place. And where it stuck me, that's the same leg where I got the blood clot.
yeah, I wonder if that thing you took a picture of resembles those bones in any way.
Uh,
I wonder.
I don't know, but we're gonna look in a moment. Yeah.
I didn't think if you I didn't know if you got to see that or not. So I thought I would show you it and say, look at here, because that's what they said that these little things
Hmm.
used to run around the Amazon, and people have seen them. They're just little tiny things, only a couple inches high, and they're very aggressive, I guess. But
Little
if I
people, like little savages.
Yeah, but I guess if I was that little, I would probably have to be aggressive too, because all somebody has to do is just walk backwards and they'd step on you. But yeah, they say that they're very aggressive. They sharpen little sticks. They make poison out of things that they find around the forest and stuff, or wherever they go a hunting. And that's how they got their food to eat. They would poison it. They would throw darts at it and poison it. And I thought, I don't know. I mean, I would think if I seen something that little wandering around, even if it was aggressive, I would probably try to catch it and keep it in something, just because I would have to say, "Oh my God, y'all, look at this! This is what we have running around."
Now you got me searching for that video, Sister Brenda. See if I can find it because sometimes it's hard to find that video.
Yeah.
For some reason, it likes to hide. That when I'm searching for it, I can never find it. Yeah, where did that picture come from?
Chad, who does all my research and stuff, he found him when he was searching for skulls and stuff, and they showed this, and he was like, "Oh my!" And he read up on it, and yeah, they found these bones years ago in the Amazon. So yeah, I don't know. They don't look very friendly. I mean, if you look at it, where's its face?
Like
It's got the,
like,
yeah, looks
they're like
mean.
little savages, eh?
Yeah. I mean, of course, most of us, we could just flip them, but
Probably step on them,
yeah, right?
but
Like a
then
little bug.
we might step on them, but they might hit us with a spear and it'll go through our foot.
Well, or they might come in many, and we'd get jumped. Yeah, remember Gulliver's Travel?
Yeah, Gulliver's Travel. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, they would jump us and yank us all down on the ground.
I'm still looking for it. See if I can find that little. Oh man, this it hides.
Yeah,
This video is always hard for me to find here. I'm searching for it right now,
and I guess they found it with like little articles of whatever
but
clothing
it
they
doesn't
had.
have no closing, does it?
Yeah, it's got like this, well, kind of like it's got like a little thing that covers up their private parts, like native people would wear, back in the old days.
Did
Um,
you ever Google it, take a screenshot and look it through Google to see what it says about the picture?
well, he found it through Google and Chat GPT. That's where he found it, and he had put in skulls and different regions that some of these elongated skulls came from, and it popped up on there, and he went, "What is this?" and he showed it to me. I was looking through other skulls, and all of a sudden I came across that, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what is that?" And the first thing that I thought of was, "Oh my gosh, that's that little thing that likes to stick spears in people and little sticks." Ah, but look at how many ribs. What is this? Definitely funny. And I can't believe they took an x-ray of it. What were they looking for? It's already in bones. Yeah. And he laughed at me. He goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you that was in there." You think? And I thought, oh, I don't know if Abe's seen that or not. But Abe, look, I found that guy that got your Achilles heel.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think the one. Let me see. I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah,
It's
he
always
said,
hard to find for some reason.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah, I searched through all my playlists right now. Went all the way down and up, and nothing. So now I'm going down again to see if I find it. It's weird. Uh, that's one of the footages that is hard for me to find. I seen the fairy one, but that one right there with the armor. Hopefully it pops up here in a.
yeah, Lawrence said that that he likes this thing called a hidden room. There's a dude that has all this stuff on
Found it.
display. Did you find it?
Yeah,
All right.
I don't
Take
know if
the,
this one looks the same. This looks different, but we'll see. Let me share it.
Well, this one's from the Amazon, so we can say the other one's from Texas. So it might look different anyways.
Okay, let's check it out.
Yeah, we'll take this one down.
All right. Okay, remember that photo right there. I'm fixing to share the other one. The little duende one.
Yeah. Like, where's Madeline? Do you know this guy? Well,
So there's the duende one here. Let me pop it up. Make it so the other one will be there laying down. There's the one with the armor because that one's got armor.
yeah, I see
That's
that.
what
Well,
that's what it looks like. It's got armor on.
well, this one is virtually naked. Well, and it doesn't have any skin now either. So, ugh. We'll ask Madeline. Madeline, do you know this character right here?
Is she here, Sister
And
Madeline?
how tall was that? Just real little too.
Yeah, that's small. That's the ground right there where it's standing, and there's little branches. Look how big the leaves are compared to it.
Yeah. Oh wow. Interesting. So do you think that things like this actually run around in our woods? And I mean, what do they eat? Scraps? Or are they vegetarians? They eat the leaves?
Wait one. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I think that I think I don't know. I think the other one could be it, just with the bones and no meat and skin and armor and that's pretty.
I don't know. What do we eat? I mean, none of you. They're meat eaters, or they eat like lizards, frogs.
Yeah.
Other things, insects, grasshoppers.
Yeah, but you don't ever see any little tiny fires out there on the ground from them heating up their food. So they must eat it raw. Ew. Ew. I couldn't imagine eating a frog raw. That would be nasty.
Yeah, that one's got like a big head, like it looks like an alien.
Yeah. Big alien head. Maybe that's where they came from. Maybe years ago they were dropped off from a
But I know
ship.
you have.
Get
I
out.
will have to do it like a Google search to make sure it's legit because sometimes
Yeah.
there's
Fly, be free.
there's like props for movies,
Yeah.
that make little things like that, like a prop, like it's a movie. So
Yeah. I just thought it was kind of funny because we were talking about the different skulls, and then all of a sudden this thing pops up on there, and I'm like, what is that? And he started laughing. He said, oh, I forgot to tell you that was in there. And he said that he had put in looking for skulls in different parts of the world, and that had come up. And so he started reading on it, and it said that they were a tiny colony of people that were from the Amazon, and they're real tiny people. We got to talking about giants, and then I thought to myself, well, I guess at some point, if these little things or little people or whatever they are out there running around the Amazon and they see us, I guess we look like giants. So, and he said that when he was reading on them, they said that they were really aggressive. And I thought, well, I was that little, I guess I'd have to be too. Yeah.
It reminds you of the cartoon We Are the Littles.
Yeah.
The Littles. Remember the
The
cartoon?
littles. Yep.
Back in the what 80s or 70s, somewhere around there.
Well, we
Called The
were,
Littles.
yeah, and we were comparing different things because depending on which AI Google search you use, you get all kinds of different things. Of course, a lot of Google is programmed to where things that they don't want you to know,
Yeah.
you don't get to know, you know. So he'll use what is it, that Grok GPT or AI Chat GPT, and he argues with Chat GPT because it'll tell him something that's wrong that he knows is right, and he'll argue with it, and then by the time he's done arguing with it, it tells him, well, perhaps you are correct. He's like, yeah,
And
that's what I
sometimes
thought.
I've seen it. I've bought like things like this. The people create. They can create little birds and
Right.
little things with certain kind of fruits. You know, like in Mexico, they make a there's a certain kind of a nut that they make it and make
Yeah.
certain little figurines with them and sell them. You know,
Right. Well, that's what I thought. I thought, well, let me just
because the head kind of looks suspicious. It doesn't look really like a
yeah,
skull. It looks
yeah.
like it's hand carved,
It looks weird. It looks
but
mean.
still, you know, it's good. They get the little body, the way they made it and stuff. But you'll be surprised how what they be doing.
Oh yeah.
People, well, you seen like the how should I say the minerals that I buy sometimes where it's hand carved and looks so realistic. You know, you got skulls that people make and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I just thought it would be funny to tell you that I found the
Yeah,
guy that poked you in your Achilles heel.
yeah. It's the sister Madeline's cousin.
Yeah.
Where's Sister Madeline at? She's not here tonight. She's
I don't
probably
know.
working.
Yeah. We could have showed her. Look at what we found. Hey, bony. He's little and bony.
Yeah, it looks freaked out.
No, could you imagine? Could you imagine walking around out in the Amazon, checking out all the big trees, and all of a sudden, six of these little things jump on your foot, and you're like, "Why is my foot so heavy?" And you look down, and they're like,
But honestly, I've seen something like that in Elms Grove
mm,
from this long, but that one was flying, and he passed right in front of me. It was around this long, had a body, looked like a body of a little like a female, like I would say a pixie or a fairy, and she was that color, brown, passed right in front of me.
Lawrence said, "Look at the link that I sent. Those are real." IMO. Oh, you have a link to things like that? Yeah, I mean,
Gulliver's.
Gulliver's Travel. We were talking about that.
It's kind of like the one that I captured with my brother, that it was flying in the air, and it just I think I have something like that. Had something like that passed by the car the other night, through on top of the car. I caught it through the camera. Yeah, mummified. He's talking about mummified pixies.
Oh, mummified pixies. Oh, yeah. I've seen some photos of that stuff. I've seen people when they've been out doing stuff in their yard and they pick something up and say, "What kind of bug is this?" But if you look at it, it's not a bug. It's got arms and legs. It's like, what is this? I wouldn't be surprised if we have all kinds of weird things running around here. Try not to spend too much time outside just because of that reason. I seen some kind of freak of anomaly today. It was a wasp and it had 8 legs, but the two front legs looked like they were like praying mantis legs. and its tail curled up like a scorpion and had a stinger at the end, but it had wings and it was a wasp. And I thought, yeah, I don't see a wasp and a scorpion fornicating. So either that's not
Yeah,
real or somebody made that,
yeah,
because
AI.
that's not possible.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of AI happening right now. That,
But if I've seen something like that flying around me, you betcha I'm going to kill it. I'm going to
but
take a
you know
fly
what they
swat.
created? They created the AI, right? They created it to discredit a lot of the other stuff,
Yes.
pictures and stuff like that. But you could tell uh, AI is bullshit compared to some of the pictures or like the videos that I got of the real things. It's way
Right.
different than what AI is putting out there.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
AI makes it look so trying to make it as real as possible. You could tell it's AI.
Yeah.
You could tell it's fake.
They've even got it down to where, like, when this thing was crawling around, you could see like the shadow of it next to it. So they've even got shadow, putting shadows on it down, and it is to discredit real things so that people can say, "Well,
She
I
said.
don't know."
She said that's a wasp, but it lays its eggs in a tarantula. It's called a tarantula hawk.
Oh my gosh, what?
It's real.
Oh no, thank you. I would still kill it. If it was in my house, I would grab my animals and go out the door and throw a match in there as I'm leaving. So I would burn everything down. I don't want no. That's okay. I'd start over. Nope. I was watching this thing about some of the wildlife in Australia, and I thought to myself, well, I couldn't live out there. It would be beautiful, but everything they have out there is deadly. They even have deadly snails, babe.
Hmm.
Snails that can impel you and kill you. It's like,
In
yeah,
Australia,
yeah, everything. Snakes, alligators that mainly hunt humans. They don't care
wow.
about anything else. They hunt humans. And I thought to myself, how can you live out there and be happy? You could just have one of these things show up in your yard and kill you. Spiders, their spiders are deadly. It's like, oh my God.
I think I was seeing something about a spider or a snake that if it bites you, that's it. You're done. Not even 10 seconds.
Yeah,
You're done.
they have one called, I think it was a snail. They called it a cigarette snail because after it stings you, you barely have enough time to smoke a cigarette before you die.
Damn.
I thought, well, I'm sure if I got stung by that, that'd be the last thing on my mind. I'd be looking for help. You never know. I guess they just figure, well, it got me. All right, I'm just going to sit here and accept it. It was crazy. I, I,
Go.
I don't want to live there. See, I have a friend that lives out there, and years ago, when I had gotten my divorce, he was like, "You need to come out here with me." Well, I didn't want to go because I couldn't fly for 16 hours. It wouldn't work. But now, the more I learn about it out there, the I am so glad I didn't go. It's like, no, I'm okay because if the kangaroos aren't going to kick your butt, then you know, all the other animals are going to sting you or bite you and kill you. Well, that's no fun. And
It's called the land down under.
mm, that's what it is. You get stung or bit by something, you're going down under.
So they got also like bees that if they sting you, they
Yeah, it's
killer bees.
crazy. Yes, their wildlife is insane. I mean, what do you? It's not like you can get something to protect yourself from them. What do? You just, if they come in your house, you just stand back and wait for them to leave. I mean,
Yeah, it's around here. The wolf spider, they'll attack you. They'll chase you,
yeah, and
try to jump at you.
they're not venomous to us, but they can give you a nasty bite. They
The
can.
wolf spiders, none of the wolf spider, the camel spiders.
Mm.
I was out there in the desert. They'll
Oh
be
yeah.
shaking and jumping like
Yep.
they're coming
My
after you. Like, look at this little thing, but they're
yep.
big. They're trying to
Yes.
jump on you.
My ex-husband, I made him empty his bag when he came back from Iraq. I made him empty it outside in the front yard, and I'm glad I did because he's in the middle of emptying it out, and all of a sudden I see this bag moving, and I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute! Don't anybody move!" And he grabbed it by the bottom and dumped it. And when he did, this big old camel spider come out. Well, I hit that thing with a shovel. Abe, it didn't even phase it. It like shook its head off, and that was it. So I went and I got a 38 and I emptied my 38 into it. And then it still was kind of trying to move its legs. So I went and got the 40 and and shot it a couple more times. And somebody called the cops on me because, well, I discharged a firearm in city limits. And when the Killeen Police Department got there, and it was when I was living over there behind the Mickey's where Stan Schluter is, where he used to live, that same subdivision. And the cops got there and they're like, well, we're here because somebody said that you were discharging a fire. I said, yes, you got to come and see this. And then I showed them this spider and they were taking pictures of it. They were going, oh my God. I said, I had to kill it because if it would have breeded with any of our spiders out here, I don't know what it would have caused. He's like, well, I don't blame you. He's like, where'd that thing come from? My husband says, Iraq. He's like, you brought that home with you? He said, not on purpose. He said it must have crawled in my bag and nobody caught it.
Scorpions, the scorpions. There's a bunch of scorpions at nighttime out there in the desert. Big old black scorpions. They're on this long or longer.
Yeah.
Freaking all kinds of lizards. The
Yeah.
nightlife, different things come out at night out there in the desert. Just like they're, I guess they're what should we call them? Night predators with a hunt at nighttime.
Yeah. I mean, how do the people that actually live there and live in these huts where they have to use the bathroom in a like a kind of like what we would call an outhouse, how do
Yeah,
they do that and not have things crawl on them or underneath their dresses or whatever it is that they wear? I mean, there's no way I could go from here to there knowing what I know and be able to live. There's just no way. I could if you put me in a mansion and I had a yacht because that would be the only way I'd be living out there.
yeah.
Because no,
I said my brother Tony one time he was laying down and I seen a scorpion crawl inside his boot and he got up. They told him he had to go and go do something and he was gonna put on his foot. I said, don't put your foot in there.
yeah,
Empty it out. And when he turned it around and went like that, the scorpion fell out.
yep. Well, I lived in
So he
Arizona
got
for
lucky.
yeah, I lived in Arizona for 10 years, and out there we always had uh, well, we had tarantulas that would migrate through the cotton fields every so often. And that was terrible because there'd be thousands of them just coming across the road, and you'd be driving down the street, roll your windows up because if not, they're hopping in. And we had a lot of scorpions, but we also had those vinegaroos, and they look like scorpions, but they have a bulb butt. They don't have a stinger, but they get you with their front claws. And when they bite you or sting you, you better hope you like the taste of vinegar. And if it's only on fish, you better eat fish for like almost a month because you have the taste of vinegar in your mouth constantly when they bite you. But I got in a habit where we had a shoe rack and all the shoes would be kept up high, but still I would try to teach my daughter, take your shoe, slap it and dump it before you try to put it on because they can, you know, scorpions can still climb.
Oh yeah.
And before we went to bed, I would take all the linen on the bed and roll it all the way down to the end of the bed to sweep to make sure they weren't underneath the blankets with us when we went to bed. Pick up the pillows, everything. It was a pain, but you get used to it after a while. I was out there 10 years, so but yep, you have to make accommodations for these. And, you know, well, camel spiders don't belong here. They need to stay out there, you know, in the desert where they belong. But everything else, I mean, we kind of intruded on their territory, you
Sand
know?
vipers, cobras.
Yep. Mm.
Man, the sand vipers, they blend in with the sand, and they can
Yeah.
be right beside you. They'll chase you too.
Yep. They go under the sand, so you
They're kind
barely
of
see
like
them.
sidewinders. They move sideways. They'll
Yeah.
try to bite you and everything.
Yeah. I don't like bugs either, Lawrence. I live in an apartment and I have a cat and a little dog, and they take care of anything they see that comes in here, that crawls in from the door. Um, I told my landlord, I swear if I ever see any roaches, I'm going to go next door and I'm going to beat the girl that lives next to me because her kitchen faces mine. Which means if I get any, I have lived here for almost 4 years now and I have not seen one, not one roach. If I ever see him, I'm going to go beat this little girl that lives next to me because that means that God only knows what she's living like. And my little dog, he does better than the cat sometimes. Those little, you know, those little pill bugs, those little roly poly bugs. One will crawl in underneath the crack in my door and he'll go over there and he'll eat it. Of course, he'll gack it up, but he'll eat it, you know. But my cat chases after. Madeline, we had a picture of one of your family members, honey. You missed it.
We had a picture of a little duende that sister Brenda brought to the show.
Yeah.
We're trying to ID him, see he's one of your cousins.
Right?
I don't know where is he at?
Oh, I'll get him. I'll get him. I'll bring him back up.
Little duende.
Yeah, you paying attention, Madeline? We're gonna get him up here. Hang on. Where is he? Okay. Now I'll share it with you. Pay attention, Madeline. Tell us if you know this guy right here. Go ahead, Abe. Okay, there he is in his little body form. Now look at here. There he is, Maddie. Do you know this skeleton? We need to know if you know this skeleton. This is the culprit that got after Abe's Achilles heel. Look at that, Madeline. They say that a bunch of these things run around in the Amazon. Rest in peace to my cousin, she says. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they say they run around the Amazon and they chase after things with little sticks, you know. Yeah. I know, did you see that x-ray? Isn't that crazy? Oh, God. Well, if that's what runs around the Amazon, I guess I don't want to go there and visit either. Who wants to go visit the Amazon when there's stuff like that running around out there? Trying to kill you by taking out your feet first.
Little savages.
Yeah. Little savages.
They take out your feet first so you won't be able to walk.
Yeah. You know, too bad I didn't have my hands on one of those. We could wrap it up in a box and we could send it out to the Roach Gang and tell them that we're sending these guys after you. The rich cap getting up. They start.
She said he was great at karaoke. He was his fellow duende.
He showed up in some pictures of some skulls on my show tonight, Madeline. We were talking about different skulls and where they came from, and all of a sudden this picture showed up, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" Wow. So I guess this other picture, they must have. Well, no, I guess they could have got high on him to take the picture. I was gonna say, did they remove his head? No.
It looks different. Yeah.
You know what it looks like? I'm looking at his face. Did you ever see It?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he have like the It forehead and eye shape?
Yeah, he looks like Jacko, the Jack O' Lantern movies,
He looks like an evil clown.
like a scarecrow.
Yeah, but this still has the shape. So I don't know. Oh boy. Uh, Maddie said, "Abe, check your text, please." Uh-oh. I know how that happens by mistake. When you go to push the little three dots on the side and you go to put and see what to time them out, if when you go to push the dots, the chat moves, it'll pop another one up, and that's how you accidentally end up timing out somebody else.
Probably we have to do it after the show because to get in there would be the thing. Let me see how I can do it.
I wonder if it's on the YouTube side or what side it might be on. Yeah. Lawrence, the suture marks on that skull are different places than ours. It's kind of weird. Looks like it's got them down the side of the head and in the middle of the head and everywhere.
Sister Madeline, can you send me his name? Maybe if I can go into his YouTube channel, I can. I think that's the way I blocked it last time. You have to give me his name, his YouTube channel name, so I can go there and block him. Let me see if I can find his name. Okay, let me see something here. Let's see what the guy's name is. Dimensional Walker 28. Okay.
Oh, wow, Lawrence. That's interesting. Ooh. What is this skeleton here that has ears, but yet antelopes? Or, oh, that's a fairy too? With antlers? Interesting. Hmm. on it.
Let me see if I can find this guy. Dimension.
Oh, Maddie said check your text again. I guess she's got whatever name he uses. I have to go shopping tomorrow and I have to do something that I really don't want to do. I have to go to Walmart. And I don't like shopping at Walmart, but I've had this really nice crock pot for like 20 years, a big one, big oval one. And for Thanksgiving, the owner of the company where I live, we all went to they had a big old dinner outside, a bunch of tables. And so we all went and I got a $40 gift card. Well, I need to go spend $100 and get another crock pot. So I thought, well, we'll go to Walmart. That way we can at least get $40 off because I have a gift card. So I have to go to Walmart tomorrow.
I got it. Fixed it.
Did you fix it? You got it, Maddie?
Yeah, from now on, if somebody gets accidentally blocked, send me their group from, I mean, their channel.
Yeah.
And like I'll be able to go to them directly and go to their thing and unhide them. So they should be good now.
Oh, gosh. I guess we are going to do a show on different weather modification stuff that has happened, unusual weather. Like one year there was weather where it snowed and was cold all year round. That happened also all over the world. So we're going to go dig into the weather modification machines that they have all over the place. And yeah, we're going to open that up. Could you imagine it snowing in Texas for a whole year? Everything would come to a complete stop. People out here can't drive.
Well, that's what happened during the flood.
Yeah.
Everything got cleansed, I guess you could say.
I don't worry about that, Lawrence. I'm not only armed with one in my holster, but I've got one hidden in my bag. So we usually just go to the one in Harker Heights. We don't go to the one here in Killeen because that's what they call Ghetto Mart. So we don't go there. We go to either Heights or we go to that one way up on Stan Schluter, way all the way up there. But I hate going to Walmart too. I try to avoid Walmart with every bone in my body. I do all my grocery shopping and different stuff like that. I do it at H-E-B. But to find the same crock pot that I had, I'm going to have to go to Walmart. I was going to order one off a line and they wanted like $170 for the one that I used to have off of Amazon. I was like, nope, that's not going to happen. So, but that'd be the first time that I have gone into Walmart in, I would have to say, almost a year. And I never buy food there. I don't buy any food from Walmart. Screw that. But I will go there, and if I have to get items, if I need a new fishing license or I need certain ammo that I can pick up there cheaper than at the gun store or, something like that. But I don't care for Walmart. Walmart's one of the, what they used to, they used to say that Walmart had to do with those containers and missing children, right? So whenever I would go to Walmart, I'd park next to one of those containers and I would bang on it and say, "It's okay, kids, I'm here to save you," just to see if I heard anybody yelling. My
Yeah.
caregiver now looks at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, no, man, there might be kids in there. You never know. They store them all over the place. They don't care. They put them in diesel trucks and transport them across the United States. It's like, I'm looking because if there's kids in there, I'm calling 911 right away, and I'm going to make them bust that thing open so we can get those poor kids out of there. And somebody at Walmart's got some explaining to do.
I think they'd be flying them.
They fly them, they take them underground, they bus them. It's Trump is so far, they found 130,000 kids already that have been missing for a while.
The
Some of
ice
them,
ads, right?
yes, some of them have grown up. They're like teenagers now when they were real small when they were taken. And that's, could you
And
imagine?
what do you think was taking them?
The government, drug cartels, all of them. There's high dollar. You know what they do with them if they can't utilize them for any other thing? They use them for organ donors. The money that is in organ donation is outrageous. I'm gonna tell you a little something that happened with Susie's daughter. She had gotten heat stroke. She was 16, I believe, and now I had heat stroke when I was in Arizona. They took her into the hospital. They ended up putting her in a medically induced coma. And then they came and told her that she was brain dead. Now, Susie don't believe that. I didn't believe that. But at the time, you figure you got a 16-year-old daughter who they have just put in a medically induced coma. You're going to be upset. You're going to not be thinking right, you know? But I was listening to a couple of doctors for clinics, and do you know what they say? They say that the whole brain dead thing is something that is made up. Because if that machine is keeping your heart pumping and your lungs pumping, then you still have activity in your brain. They just shut the machine off so you don't see it. And that's what they do. They use the organs because they can sell them for high dollar. And it is so sad. There have been people that have been going through and doing like animal, like pigs. Pigs' hearts are just like ours. So they've been trying to use those instead. And but every time somebody tries to do this kind of research, they shut them down. They have got a cure for cancer. And let me tell you how pissed off I am at St. Jude's because they take all this money, and they have since I could remember. We're going to find the cure for cancer. We're going to find the cure for cancer. And they never do. And what do? They take those poor children that supposedly die from their cancer, but yet their organs are good enough to be able to donate. Now, that tells you there's something wrong, man. There is something wrong with society. You know, the other day I said, and I was sitting here going, you know, Father, maybe it is time. Maybe it is time for you to come and just wipe this place out again. There is so much corrupt, satanic, there is so much of it. I don't even think that there's enough of us that can counteract it and pray hard enough. It's so bad. I mean, it's craziness. And, you know, I'm just like, yeah, Lawrence. And you know what? They tried that with me when I was in that coma for a month. And a lot of it is because your insurance company will only pay for you to be on that for so long. And then that's when they start pushing for them to be taken off. We got to take them off of this. We got to take them off of it. You know, they won't pay for this anymore. They're brain dead. They're not going to. But a lot of people, and I've heard a lot of them, there's been a lot of people that when they come in and say they have to take them off of life support because they're brain dead, people will say no, absolutely not. If I have to pay it myself, that's not going to happen. And within a week or two, those people come out of it. They've had people that have woken up in surgery when they take them on that walk down that hallway and everybody's there, they're taking them into surgery so they can get their organs right away. And I've heard stories of people that have been in there to get surgery and they cut them open to like take their heart and they wake up. Now, are they honest enough to say, oh my God, and stitch him back up and say, we don't know what happened, he came back to life, or are they going to do something to make sure that person does not?
Yeah.
Who do you trust anymore? You can't trust hospitals. You can't trust doctors. You can't trust morticians. You can't trust the government. You can't trust anybody. And that's so sad because that makes this world really bad. Because even though we can forgive people and we can be loving towards everybody, we have so many out there that are after us, that want to do away with us. They want to turn this country into a third world country and starve everybody, kill half of the population, and then expect everybody else to work as slaves. When I hear people talk about slavery, this is what I say to them. It hasn't ended. It has not ended. We are all slaves to the same system. All of us. I don't care what race, what color, nothing. We are all slaves to the same system. And the only way it's going to stop is unity, which people can't do that right now. I don't know what it's going to take, but people can't do it. People can't do the unity because there's a lot more of us than there are of them. And it is written in our Constitution, isn't it, that we can go up against our government and we can eject them from those seats.
We the people.
That's right. We can fire them, but there's got to be enough of us out there because they have their little cops and their cronies. But if there's more of us than there are of them out there, they're going to turn around and say, hey, sorry, I'm for the people. So, I mean, it's so bad. And yeah, our medical field. And Lawrence, you said they said that to you, and here you are alive now, 11 years later. Mm-hmm. Yep. But that between trafficking children and organ donation or organs, everybody, if you're an organ donator, take that shit off your driver's license. If your family feels that you can do that to help somebody else, they can sign for it later after, just before you pass. But I took mine off. I didn't have it on there when I was in that coma for 30 days. So let's see what they would have done because I took it. I used to be an organ donor. I mean, I've donated. I went when I lived in Arizona. I had a friend who had a certain type of cancer and she needed bone marrow. And you're awake when they extract your bone marrow. And it hurt so bad. I chipped 2 teeth, clenching my jaw. And I didn't have any problem doing that. I've had people that have needed a kidney, and I've said, what blood type are you? Let's see if we can match it. I'll give you a kidney. I got 2. You really only need 1 to live. You just got to be careful. But for them to forcibly take it just because they can make mega dollars off of you, and they don't give it to little Johnny who's going to pass away, who should be top of the list. Oh no, they give it to a 98-year-old rich person who's got money to pay for it. And that is really sad. Really sad. So some of this stuff right here, boy, I'll tell you what, everybody stay in prayer because this stuff just makes me ill. I mean, literally makes me ill. Did you hear that Trump wants to do a nationwide prayer on a certain day? And he wants everybody to get together and go into prayer, everybody at the same time. And I'm thinking to myself, here's a problem with this. I don't have nothing against people gathering together to prayer, safety in numbers. But we have people that have been busting into churches and doing all this stuff to take people out. What better way to get a whole bunch at one time than to gather everybody to do this? So that's the other side of my brain's going, yeah, we should all do this. But then I got that little spot in my brain that says, wait a minute, you need to think twice about this. Not that prayer is a bad
Yeah,
thing.
because
Stay
there's
home
another
in
thing that
prayer.
could happen.
Yeah.
Transferring the spirits.
Yes. So I mean, if you're gonna do it, I'm all for it, but do it at home. Do it with your family. That's where you should be doing it in the privacy of your
Transferring the
own home.
spirits, you know. I mean, it's one of those things that, I mean, I know that they got the ice and doing all the things, policing the people and all that.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that and then you won't go into prayer, it's like, yeah, it's kind of like double standards, because if you're gonna be godly, you're gonna be godly with
Well,
everybody. You
I
know.
don't I don't think that those people that are going after eyes would be involved in going into prayer because they don't like I said the other day, they cracked me up. They don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in God or Satan. But they'll be the first ones to defend the Islamics on their called prayer that is so loud and rings through a whole freaking town. Okay, they'll be the first ones to defend them and say, well, that's not a bad thing. Oh, but let us go and pray and say the name of Jesus. And my God, we might have well have just killed the Pope.
Yeah.
So make up my mind, people. They are so confused and so far fetched. So I don't think that it would be them that would be joining in on it. I think it would be them that would be causing problems for the people that are doing it, the people that were in prayer. I think that they would massively rush people that were like here. They would probably send a shitload of people from Austin, and those people in Austin, they need to build a doggone wall around Austin and keep those people in there and not let them leave because those people are crazy. Austin has gotten nuts. Like you got to just stay. When they said keep Austin weird, they weren't kidding. It's been weird and it stays weird. So I thought, okay, well, it would be a good thing to have everybody. Well, it's not going to be everybody, but all Christians, everybody of good faith get together and all at the same time prayer. And if Trump's going to do it, I'm pretty sure he's going to do it at the White House, and there's probably going to be somebody there doing a prayer for everyone. So if that's it, televise it, stay in your homes, friends, family, get together. Don't be outside doing this because I feel a very bad outcome coming for that. There's going to be people that are going to get hurt. And we already know what kind of trials and tribulations that we are in. We should not step our foot into something that's going to make it worse for us. Because eventually people with sound mind are going to need to be there to help pick up the pieces.
I
Well,
mean, you don't have to do a mass prayer like that when you can pray
yeah,
from your home,
that's right.
because when you pray, it's one of the things that the Heavenly Father listens to your prayer and answer your prayer, especially if you truly have faith and believe in Him.
Right.
You don't have to appear in an open space with a lot of people and pray when you can pray individually in a
I
safe
mean,
place, right? You got to protect the vessel.
yeah. And I mean, at one particular point in time, yeah, that would have been a great thing because the stronger the faith, the more that's there, the stronger it will be. But nowadays, no, no. People are just too off the chain right now. for large gatherings of Christians to be anywhere, because they can't even be protected in a church. Okay,
Yeah.
how are you going to be protected out in the open? Now, if Trump wants to open his fancy little ballroom and invite us all to the White House, where they lock the doors and we have armed guards standing out there, why not? But no, no, not out in the world in large groups where people can just
They
piss off one
infiltrated
by
the
one.
churches with when the COVID thing happened.
Yeah.
There was churches, and then they just went against everything that it says within the commandments.
Hmm. You
when you
know,
when you talk about marriage, right? They went
my
against all that.
my cousin who lives in Kansas, of course, she grew up in Catholic church, Catholic schools, and she still reads the Bible and all of this stuff, and she still goes to church. Well, I found out about her church. Her church, they have the big pride flag that hangs there, um, and they preach that it's okay for a man to become a woman, and a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, and a man to lay together and have children. And they allow the drag queens to get dressed in drag, come up the aisles and hand out the offering plate, and then go up front and sing like a chorus in drag, in lingerie drag. And my thought is, what in the Sam hell is the matter with you? Well, I have a gay son. I know you do. And I have a gay cousin. But he doesn't even agree with all of this. Okay? I know a lot of gay guys. They don't like this whole drag stuff and posting this stuff everywhere. To each their own. Live your own life. If you're gay, that's fine. You can still be my friend. You know, I'm not the one that has to judge you. Okay? As long as you're a decent person and you're not out here, and they don't like it either. They don't like people pushing this in children's faces. The whole transgender thing, they do not like them dealing with that with children at all. They even see the wrong in it. And I couldn't believe it when I found this out about her church. I was like, I why? How do these pastors and priests not know that this is wrong? What is wrong with them, Abe?
This talks about the latter days, how things like that are going to happen.
That's
Uh,
true.
it's been
And,
already been written what was going to happen in the future.
and I do believe that they said that God will down the churches. The churches will
Yeah,
fall.
it's going to be a lot of things happening. That's why you
And,
have to maintain your Heavenly Love Foundation and your
yeah,
personal relationship with them. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. How that's why I say a strong Heavenly Love Foundation through Jesus Christ.
yes.
Not to what the preachers are saying or the people in the church saying, but through Jesus Christ.
And and as
Having a
far as
relationship with Him.
I am concerned, the
So,
only ones that don't lie to you, and the ones that are going to be by your side, and the ones that are going to see you through this, is going to be the Heavenly Father and Jesus. You've got to stand strong with them, because they won't turn away from you. I've lost a lot of family members over the way that I think. And it's not like I say, well, it's my way or no way, because I'm always willing to hear everybody else's take on things, because I may think that something's right, and I may hear somebody else's take and say, well, wait a minute. that makes more sense than the way I think of it, So I'm always willing to learn. You learn new things every day. What is on your shirt? Oh, is that
That's
what's his name?
Wolverine.
Yeah. Wolverine.
Even Wolverine wouldn't approve.
Right? You are not Wolverine approved.
But I don't know. After they made that movie with Deadpool,
Yeah,
they made that a woke movie.
Deadpool's a
They
character, ain't he?
they tried to downplay Wolverine's savagery.
Did you know that in every movie, including some that are like, Wolverine and Superman and all that stuff, did you know who writes a lot of those? In the Pentagon, they have a section in the Pentagon that is for Hollywood, and it's a office of the CIA. And the CIA is the one who writes most of our stuff for Hollywood. And because when I found out that the Pentagon had a space for Hollywood, I thought, well, what do they need one for? Are they making movies? Well, let me guess, this is where you made the moon landing. But then I found out that no, CIA is in, they help with all the scripts for movies and different stuff. And a lot of movies are like documentaries, you know? I don't know if you know much about MK Ultra and about that little island out there off of New York, Montauk, but when they made Stranger Things was made out of the truths and facts of what they did there with a lot of the kids and the torture and the different things to open up their abilities and stuff like that because they want to make them super soldiers. And then I start looking back at a lot of other movies and I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute. So there's a lot of truth in the movies, and apparently that's what they do. They put the truth out there, so we look at it and say, "Oh wow, that was cool. That was a movie," and we don't believe it. But yet they told us what they were doing, so they can come back later and said, "Well, you knew this was going to happen. Did you not see so and so? So we told you the truth. You just thought it was fun and games." Sneaky, oh so sneaky, terrible people. So what'd you do today? Did you find anything out about the house?
No, we're just waiting, getting so they can fix certain things of the house. See what they're gonna do.
That's good. Is it bigger than the house you're in now?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good size. Yes.
That's good. Yeah, I need to figure something out and get out of here. I don't know. They're talking
No, just
about they're huh?
the paperwork and all that.
Yeah. Well, the manager that we have now here, she told me that she's leaving and going back to Illinois. So she said that Jim was talking to her about making me a manager over here, which I can do it, but they're going to have to lower my rent because they keep talking about rent going up. I'm going to have to leave. It's like, you people, no. If they do it, that's fine, but I've
How
done it
much are
before.
they trying to pick up rent?
Um, when I moved in here, I was paying 825, and now they're up to 875.
Oh
Plus, they
wow.
charge you for, yeah, and it's a one bedroom. It's small. Plus, they don't charge you supposedly the water coming in that you use, they charge you for water waste. And, when it got cold for those long periods of time where we had to drip the sinks, man, that made my water waste double. I mean, it doubled. And then they want to They want to, if you don't have your own renter's insurance, they want to charge you $12 a month for that. And now, let me tell you, I went to school when I first moved out here for an apartment manager. I was an apartment manager at a different place. And the legal law says you have until the 3rd of every month by closing time to pay your rent. On the 4th, if you haven't paid it, on the 4th, when they open up, then you are considered being late and you can get a late fee. Well, these people here sent out a notice. I got an email the other day. Now, I always pay my rent on the 1st. If it's a weekend, I might wait and, if it's a Sunday, I might wait and do it on Monday. But for the most part, I've never been late on my rent here. I've always paid. So I get an email that they put out, a mass email that said, if your rent is not paid on the 2nd by closing time, then your rent will be considered late. And the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th, you will accumulate late fees. And on the 5th, they will send you a letter that gives you 3 days to pay or you have to move. After that, file eviction. And so I went and I told Jack, I said, hey, we got to make sure that we pay the rent on the 1st all the time. I'm not going to be dealing with this other crap. And he said, why? So I explained it to him. He said, they can't do that. Legally, it's not late till the 3rd. I said, I know that and you know that, but maybe something changed that I don't know. I'm going to look it up. But I don't know. They either need to make me a manager or I'm going to have to move because I'm not going to be putting up with their crap.
Sounds like somebody's trying to get greedy, make money.
And I know it's the management company, not the owner, because he gave everything over to the management company. So they're trying to do this stuff to make them look good. And then they sent out a notice last year for people who get paid every 2 weeks. They can pay partial rent on the 1st and then partial rent when they get paid again on the 15th. Well, apparently they're going to stop that, which is going to be bad because there are a lot of people that do that here. They split their their rent up. So yeah, so I told him because they charged me $27 for a fee for a credit card. And I said, wait, I don't pay with a credit card. I pay with a debit card and they only charge me so much for that, but I got charged for credit card. And they said, no, you paid your rent the morning of the 3rd. So I said, actually, I paid it the night of the 2nd. You were already closed. But that's not supposed to start right now, but you still charged me $27 for that. You took that out of my card. I said, and then you overdrew my account. So I would like that put back in there, please. Well, because of when you paid it. Okay, all right, I got you. I'll go back to paying on the 28th of every month, just like I do. I might even subtract some for paying early. Well, I don't know. And with my manager leaving, I don't really know anybody else around here. And the company itself moved in a bunch of young people, and it has been so crazy around here. I need to put up cameras outside my front door, cameras outside my back door. Makes me feel like I want to put barbed wire around my apartment. My God. It's nuts.
Crazy.
I might be looking to move. I've found some really nice places, and one of them is like a 55 and older. And I looked at some of the stuff, and I think I would be the youngest person living there.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's like, God, is there anybody that lives here that's under the age of 60, please? Nope. These people are all in like their 80s and 90s, but that would mean they're not out there boomboxing their cars. They're not slamming their doors. They're not running in and out and having parties. So It might be all right for me. I don't know. Yeah, they're trying to do something with that. I'm not sure. I just know that I've lived here way too long to be dealing with their crap, and I've got to be one of the only apartments that had still paid my rent, even though for 2.5 years my apartment would flood every time it rained. I mean, I have just put up with so much here that it is so ridiculous. So I don't know. I just I sit here, I mind my own business, I stay in my house. I have a lot of money wrapped up into my backyard. Nobody else has got a nice big shed back there and has put up a wooden deck and decorated the rest of it with pea gravel. And, I've got a big bug zapper out there. I have lights in all my posts that go around there. I have strands of cellular lights out there. It's really nice out there. Nobody else around here does that. They put their dogs in the yard and let them poop, and they bring them in. They don't clean it up, and it's like, really? I have scoopers and trash cans, and they get dumped. And I mean, if people don't know how to take care of their animals, they just need to not have them. Period. They have weeds growing through the fence because they don't cut the yard or leave the fence open so that they can have the landscapers come and do it. We take care of all of ours ourselves. Well, I don't know. These people are
Well,
just crazy.
yeah, I was debating whether I was going to do the live or not, but we're almost at the 2 hour marker here.
Yes, I see. I seen you in there, and I knew you popped off. You went to Whataburger.
Yeah.
I had that yesterday. Tonight I ate a bowl of chili before I did the live.
Yeah, I was just going to do a quick live and stuff. And, I talked what I had to speak at the beginning. I felt I had to talk about that. And, you know,
Well,
just about I didn't plan to stay. I was going to just
some,
do a 2 hour show today. Just feel
sometimes
a
I
little bit tired after doing all the shows throughout the
yeah.
week.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I do them Monday through Friday, and then do another one on Saturday. So
I'll be right back, Sister Brenda.
okay, but it's good that everybody needs to have a little reminder to stay prayed up and spiritually guarded because there's just so much wrong that happens, and it's quite sad. And we're all being taken advantage of. I don't care where we go. I don't know how many people watch this show that live in California, but will you guys please keep Gavin Newsom on a leash and tell him he doesn't need to try to run for president because he doesn't make a very good governor either. Yeah. Well, Harp, you're probably right. But the only problem is over there, they won't let uh, they won't let younger people live there. But it's a very nice place. It's beautiful. The places are nice. They have great landscaping. They have a pool. Um, they have little tennis court. I just got to find out if I can take my dogs because I think they'll let you. They just have to be under a certain weight, which I have two small dogs. So yeah. Although my one's a Chihuahua, so he's very vocal. My other one's a Yorkie, and he's kind of quiet. Is Andreas still in here? Andreas. He might have went and took his shower and went to bed. Poor guy. Oh, but anyways, yes, I'm going to let Abe go so he can get done here and get him some rest.
Yeah, I figured I'll do a show. Normally, I don't do shows. Now, next Saturday, I won't be doing one. I'm going to be going out on the day.
Woohoo! It's always
But
nice to have a date
just
night.
doing one. I mean, all week, yeah, with the shows, but it's kind of like the shows that were being held here. It had to do with the same crap that I've been trying to prevent,
Yeah,
which is talk about this people. I don't want to talk about this people. Uh, the people from the Roach Camp. I don't deal nothing with them. You know, but it happened that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's what it turned out to be.
yeah,
I don't want to give any limelight to these people.
right.
You know,
Well, they're not worth it. So
yeah,
understandable.
we can forgive, but so I'd rather talk about other things than somebody's little pecker. Somebody sending pictures to women, their little pecker.
God, I
You
can't
know,
believe somebody would do that. Oh my gosh. Apparently, that must be the cool thing to do nowadays. I don't know. I think that if anybody ever did that to me, I'd probably would block them and never speak to them again. Like, have a little respect for yourself. But anyways, all right. Well,
just the drama, that kind of drama. I don't, it's crazy.
well, hopefully soon enough, they'll just fade away and go away and won't bother anybody anymore. Just go do their own thing. I mean, all of us. There's a lot of us out there that have our own channels. We just do our thing. You know, just do that. Go do your thing and try to become a productive person in society. You know.
Oh, there's Andres. He said he's still here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was still here or not.
That's one of the things I don't want to do. I want to give no light to nobody. That's come up against me in a negative way the past 5 years. You know, I don't want I don't want to entertain nobody. Especially to come up against me in a negative way and say bad things about me. That might be still somebody's friend, right? But
Yeah,
they came at me in a negative way, and if people can understand why I don't associate with people that come at me and get against a negative way, well, put yourself in my shoes. What would you do?
that's true.
If somebody would come at you in a negative way and say all kinds of crap about you, cuss at you, and makes false accusations, would you want to associate with somebody like that?
Nope.
Hell no. You ain't going to hurt me. And if people want to remain friends with people like that, that's their choice. But me personally, if somebody comes at me right off the bat in a negative way, I don't want to associate with those people.
Right.
Especially if they already targeted my character and say I don't know nothing and all this stuff. The one that don't know nothing is them, and I just don't want to associate with those kind of people. That's what I call people that have a freaking ego. They think that they're the shit. That's probably term, right? Or they think they're badasses, but they just don't know who they're talking to. They're talking to a real badass.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't got time to be dealing with those kind of people.
Yeah.
Entertaining idiots. They're computer warriors. Where the bravery is in the computer, but they won't say that to my face because I'll knock the shit out of them. I'll be
Right.
honest. I'm gonna lie. I'll knock the shit out of them.
They like to act like keyboard warriors.
So they get brave. They want to threaten you, and they're going to do this, and they want to do this and that. But come settle it like a man. Then, if you want to do something, settle like a fucking man. You know,
That's true.
if you whoop my ass, you whoop my ass. But if I whoop your ass, I'll whoop your ass. I'm not afraid to get down and dirty. You got old Sias over here.
Oh,
But when they, crying like little pansies and trying to get people involved to make something that's nothing into something, that's just letting me know their character. They ain't worth my time.
oh, if they knew you were going over there, they would be on the phone calling the cops saying, I feel threat for my life, even if they invited you.
Like Sias is threatening me. Hashtag Temple PD. That's what they did. He's making terrorist
Terroristic
threats,
threats, yep. Yep,
but
that's
they
what
don't
they
see what they
do.
do with the fake profiles, huh? But that's all it is. I just don't want to entertain folks like that. Give
Oh,
them, give them power, credibility when they don't deserve it. Screw that.
the
I
black
ain't gonna
eyed
praise
kids.
anybody. I ain't gonna praise anybody that targeted me for 5 years and say that they shouldn't leave nowhere. But all the works they've done for 5 years is fuck with people. Get out of here.
Andreas wants to know if you've seen the black eyed kids, if you've seen any of those.
I didn't see them, but I heard them. If there were the black eyed kids, but to me, I don't think they're the black eyed kids. I think they're demons because the demons they how should I say mimic children. They used to come all the time at Elms Grove at 3 in the morning. I could see the silhouettes of the children outside my window.
Yeah, and
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 when I opened the curtain, there'll be nobody there. And then I was like, okay, it's nothing. Then you hear them running around, laughing around the house,
you know
and then
that
I stand again by the window.
you know
So
that
then I go
show.
outside. Yeah, I'll go outside to see what's going on. What's up with these kids, and like tell them, hey, go home. What are you doing out here?
Get out there, they're not there.
But they're not out there. It's because they're demons.
You know that show that you did for Elms Grove when they put it on TV. Um, I was watching that same show, and there was a woman on there that talked about the one night she was sitting in her living room, and there was a little knock at the door, so she got up, and there was three children standing there, and they asked if they could come in. Well, she allowed them to go ahead and come in. And then she realized when she looked at them again that all three of them had black eyes. So she asked them to leave, and they did leave. But she said after they left, for like a week, there was poltergeist activity in her house and things being moved and knocking noises and laughing and all kinds of other stuff. She had to have somebody come and bless her house. So yeah, I think them
They're,
being
they're,
little demons, I think that's correct. And if
yeah,
you let
they're
them in,
demons. They're
yeah,
pretending to be children. So you believe that they're children, then they have the opening to come into your home
yeah,
uninvited.
yeah, that's well, who who's gonna leave kids sitting outside in the middle of the night when it's raining? Most people are gonna say, "Oh my gosh, get in here! Where do you belong? Who's your parents?" Most people are gonna do that with kids. So that's where the demons
You
kind of
don't
get a
want to hear
little smart.
the black eyed children. What I think of when I hear that, it's a
What?
movie. It's a movie of some 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 kids that were trapped in a mine. Just can't remember the
Okay,
name of the movie, but they have black eyes.
I'm gonna
But
have to
there
look.
is a story of the location in the woods where the children will follow you, and you'll be able to see the this black eyed children. Something that happened where children were disappearing or they got murdered or something like that.
Hmm.
So I just can't remember the name of the movie. So when I hear about this black eyed children,
Wow.
That's what I think of is that movie is dealing with some kids that got, I guess, the mine caved in. They got trapped in the mine, so then the kids will come out and night time, certain time of the year, come and kill the people or something. They have black eyes. So when I hear stories like that, it's like, man, I swear I seen a movie, and I'm more sure probably the stories that I said probably somebody done seen something like that because people say that too. But I don't know if was it Needful Things, or I can't remember the name of the movie.
I remember a movie named Needful Things. I don't think I ever seen it. The only other one that was involving kids was Children of the Corn, but they weren't black-eyed kids. They were just weird kids. Um, and they were demonically uh, possessed.
Yeah,
There's no telling me they weren't, but yeah, they
but that's a lot of Hollywood right there. There's
yeah,
just things with the black eyes and stuff.
yeah. Wedge
But
says turning the other cheek doesn't mean be a punching bag. That's true. That is true. I wonder if that was meant to where Jesus said, if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek. Now, nobody finished that because what if Jesus said, and if they slap that one, beat them up?
protect the vessel.
Like that was supposed to be the warning. I'll give you that one. Here's my other cheek. What are you gonna do now? Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, you got to protect your vessel, man.
Yeah. Oh well. Well,
All
Ed,
right.
I will let
Okay.
you go so you can go play your game and relax. And if we see you tomorrow night, we will. If not, then I hope you have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Sister Brenda. Well, thank you for jumping on here, and you have a blessed day. That's what I was doing. Look,
Yeah. Are you getting close?
it's a little minor going off, but nothing's popping.
Okay. I keep seeing that game advertised on my Roku all the time. So, but all right, everybody, you guys have a good night. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up, and we will see you guys next time.
Let me see. Let me see. I can. Yeah. Thank you, Sister Brenda. I'm gonna see if I can find that movie that I'm talking about.
Okay. All righty.
Let me see if I can find that movie. There you go. I found it. It's a pretty crazy movie. Let me do a screenshot of it so I can show you what it is. This is the movie I was talking about, folks. I don't know if you ever seen it, but it has to do with kids like their eyes are color black or something like that. And here's the movie because I've heard the story numerous times and people talk about it, and I said, man, I swear there's a movie because I seen it. Something dealing with kids with black eyes, black eyed kids or whatever, black eyed. And here's let me share it with you. I just couldn't remember the name of the movie on top of my head, but I just found it. Let me share it with you. Well, my phone is acting crazy. As I'm trying to share this photo with y'all. Hmm. Uh, the name of the movie is called Wicked Little Things. That's what it's called. Wicked Little Things. For some reason, this phone is not working right. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get to my Facebook. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna log out and log back in. Okay, I think I got it. Let me share it with y'all. Uh, Facebook. There it is. I found it, folks. There it is, right here. This is the name of the movie. You should check it out, guys. It's pretty good if you like horror. Um, and it has to do with. If y'all haven't seen this movie, you should check it out. Yeah, Wicked Little Things. So when I heard the story of the kids in the woods and all that, with the black eye kids, well, this is a movie that reminds me of that. The black eyed kids is this movie called Wicked Little Things. check it out, folks. It's pretty good. It's crazy, man. And these kids will come out at night, knock on your door and stuff like that. Come mess with you. It's called Wicked Little Things. If you want to check it out right now, man, after we finish the live, check it out. I'm not tuned into it. It's a pretty good movie, but it has to do with something in that nature, with kids. Yeah, check it out, Andres. After we finish this live here, I'm gonna look it up and check it out. But anyways, brothers and sisters, thank you for those all that tuned in. For whoever tuned in, thank you for taking the time of your busy schedule tuning into your spiritual Encrypted Encounters. But I'm going to call it a night now, brothers and sisters. I'm getting a little bit tired. Good night, everybody. Check out that movie, Wicked Little Things. That's what it's called. Thank you for those that tuned in. Thank you, Beyond the Box, for helping me out here tonight. Good night, everybody. Yeah, it's pretty crazy movie. Check it out. When I hear the story about the Black Eyed Kids, well, that movie, that's what that remind me of, because they come knocking on your door and all that in the middle of the night and stuff like that. But in saying that, I'm going to check it out right now. I'm going to look it up and check it out. That'll be my good night. That'll be my movie that I'm going to go to sleep on, get some rest. But thank you, everybody that tuned in. Check out the movie, Wicked Little Things, I think that's called. It's about this Black Eyed Kids that y'all talking about, something in that nature. Yeah, they'll come and knock at your house and late at night. They come out at night, yeah. There was another movie of a Black Eyed Kid that was small that I remember, but it was a movie. It's called, I don't know if you all remember, it was called Milo. It was called Milo. But I think this one is even little. The one I just showed you is scarier. Milo, you have to look into it. It's an old movie. It was called Milo, Milo. But this one is better. The one I just showed you. Good night, everybody. This is Brother Ibsias. Sorcia signing off for Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Good night, everybody, and God bless y'all. Yeah, I'm going to watch it right now. Yeah, Milo had black eyes. You all remember Milo, Matt? I mean, because they talk about Black Eyed Kids, but that one that I showed you, that one's a pretty good one of the Black Eyed Kids. Good night, everybody. Peace out.